Alright, today we're going to go over section 3.2. And this is on graphing linear equations. Now, whenever you look at an equation, the way that you tell it's linear, and by the way, what we mean by linear, you see the word line in linear? That means that your equation forms a straight line. So, by looking at an equation, you can tell that it's a linear equation by just looking at the exponents on the variables. So, if all of your variables are to the first power, so they all have an exponent of 1. As long as they all have an exponent of 1, then it's linear. But if you have another exponent, like if you have an x squared in there, or x to the third, or x to the 1/3, something like that, then it's not linear. So the first thing we're going to do is we're just going to look at some equations and we're going to decide if they're linear, which means if they would form a straight line when we graph them. So if we have negative 7x equals to negative 3y plus 6. And you can see that all your variables are to the first power. X is to the first power, and so is y. And you know when something's to the first power, you don't show the exponent. So you know those are to the first power, so it is a linear equation. But if you had something like this, negative 3x squared plus 7y equals negative 7. See, that one you have an x to the second power. So since the x is not to the first power, that one is not linear. Okay, so on that type of problem, if it gives you an equation and if it asks if it's linear or not, all you have to do is look at the exponents on the variables. As long as they're all to the first power, it's linear. If they're to any other power, it's not. Okay, now getting into actually graphing. Okay, let's say you have the equation y equals 7x. Y equals 7x. And we're going to graph by using a table of values. So we're going to make a little XY chart. Now we're going to choose some numbers to substitute in for x. It doesn't matter what you choose. Let's use 0, negative 1, and 1. Okay. Then we're going to substitute those x values in to see what we would get for y. So when x is 0, we'd have y equals to 7 times 0, which is 0. So when x is 0, y is also 0. So you just substitute it in and work it out, and that tells you what y is. If you put in negative 1, that is y equals to 7 times negative 1, which is negative 7. So when x is negative 1, y is negative 7. And then if you put your 1 in, you have y equals to 7 times 1, which is 7. Okay. Now all of these are ordered pairs. So if we plot the ordered pair 0, 0, the ordered pair negative 1, negative 7, and the ordered pair 1, 7 on our graph and draw the straight line that goes through those 3 points, then that is the graph of this equation. So let's do that. Okay, graph. So I don't think that's going to be quite big enough, is it? Let me make that just a little bit bigger. Okay, so we're going to graph our 3 points. 0, 0 is right here in the middle. This is your x-axis, by the way, and this is your y-axis. The x-axis goes across, y-axis up and down. Now, if you plot -1, -7, you're going to go 1 to the left on your x-axis, and then you're going to go down 7 on the y-axis. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So that's the point -1, -7. Let's see, this one was 0, 0. And we also need to plot the point 1, 7. So that would be over 1 and up 7. So go over 1, up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, right here. That's the point 1, 7. And then you just draw the straight line that passes through all 3 of those points. Okay, mine is supposed to be straight. I'm having a hard time here. Okay, mine's a little curved. It's supposed to be a straight line. I'm having trouble on this. Drawing it on the computer. So something like that. And what that means is that any point along that line would be a solution to that equation. See, there's an infinite number of solutions to that equation, and any point on that line will be a solution. Okay, let's look at one more. Now let's do y equals to 1/4 x. Y equals to 1/4 x. We're going to make a table again. Okay, let's use 0. Okay, and it's going to be easier if you choose numbers that 4 will divide evenly into to graph this one, because it'll be easier to multiply by 1/4 if 4 will divide into it. So let's use 0, 4, and -4. Okay, if we substitute in 0, we'd have y equals to 1/4 times 0, which is just 0. If we put in 4, we have y equals to 1/4 times 4, which is 4 over 4, or 1. So that would be 1. If we have y equals to 1/4 times -4, that would be -4 over 4, which would be -1. Okay, and then we just plot those 3 points and we draw our line. Your x-axis and your y-axis. So 0, 0 is right here in the middle. 4, 1, you're going to go over 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, and up 1, which is right here. And -4, -1 would be 4 to the left, 1, 2, 3, 4, and down 1. So about right here. So this one was 4, 1, and -4, -1. And then you just draw your line that goes through all 3 of those points. And I did an arrow on that side, but it's not going to show up very well.